What is up, everyone? All Barcelona fans and football fans. Back again here with a video after a long while. I know it's been a while, and there's some reasons for that, but I'll get into that in another video later. But I can say that it's gonna be some format changes a little bit on the channel with the Barca News Weekly thing, and I'm gonna be changing it up in the beginning of next year. um make it a little bit more, make it make sense a little bit more, make it more easier to really schedule uploads and stuff like that. So that's why I've been off. And also, not only that, but we'll get to the other reason in a second. But I just want to say that that's why I've been why I've been off, and I've been trying to plan a few things and trying to decide how the channel's can go on forward, and what I'm gonna do. So I'm sorry I've been off for a little bit while, but things like that happen. Changes are always needed, in the end. But okay. But now to the main reason, of course, Barcelona and the performances in recent times. Let's just cut to the chase. I dressed the elephant in the room here. We've been really, really bad. Performances have not been good. The attack has been terrible, to say the least. Like, very terrible. And, just gonna close the door there. It's been poor. Like, I can understand during a season not always everything can go 100% perfect. But we've seen now for the last month or so performances that have not been acceptable. Ever since that loss versus Real Madrid, things just started to take a step down. At first we thought, okay, maybe just a couple games, but no, it just got worse and worse. That Rockwood draw and everything. We took a little bit of a step back up with the win versus Atletico Madrid, which was very good, and then the Porto win in the Champions League as well for that. And just those were good 1-0 victories, something that we saw much of last season and the season before. Something like that, solid work. But that just papered over some things at the time, because right after that, it all went down to shit again. The last 3 games have been absolutely horrible. And it's just, I'm wondering how really this has happened. Because last season, we were very good in scoring properly, and playing properly, and and winning, and at least putting on performances that were super solid, and gave everybody confidence that this is gonna go well. Everything's gonna, like, we're gonna compete for titles, really. Yes, not all games were big goal score games, but at least you saw that we were consistent in at least doing something, right? We held the game. We were more clinical. We did create more, and we did at least win clinically, like, constantly, and like we were like keeping up. Once in a while it was a little bit of a mess up here and there, but we always picked ourselves back up, and always looked like we could always improve and always get back into the run of form. Now it's been just looking after every game when we think maybe next game is gonna be the better one. It just seems to get worse, or at least it just stays the same amount of bad, you know. And that's been a massive, massive problem. That the midfield has not been creative enough. The attack has been toothless, pretty much. When not as much a good enough amount of shots towards goal. at all. Really, it's just baffling. Um, the Girona game, terrible. We lost that game, and just I couldn't believe it. Really, how we performed there. It was it was pointless. It was we just didn't do anything. It was absolutely horrible and embarrassing how we went into that game and how we handled that. We let them score like nothing, and then we can't even score ourselves. And when we do score, towards later on, we just mess it up again. We just let them score shortly after again. It's not okay. Like how are we doing this? Especially by the end, that was just like we scored. We thinking maybe we can get back into it again. Maybe we have some resemblance of a chance. Maybe at least get a draw. We started playing like we should by the end already when the time is running out. But no, even after finally a second goal is scored, we concede two more or something like one or two more by the end. Absolutely horrendous, right? It's just it's just unbelievable. I just don't understand that. I know Girona has been good, and I know this them, but this is just unacceptable. And then after that, we go on to actually lose to Royal Antwerp in the Champions League. I know that game did not mean anything. I know there's no meaning with that, and also there's not much else to really say. Like it's just like there wasn't that much stake going on in that game. We are already qualified and all that, but that's beside the point. We should still go in there no matter what and win that. That should not be a loss, especially not like that. We go in, of course. It's just baffling to me. We go in there, we concede first actually against them, and then we get a goal, right? And we're thinking, oh yeah, okay, great, we can get back into this now. We can actually win this. We can go on and just win this game now. No, second half, even more terrible. We concede towards the end, 2-1. We're losing, but then at added time, Mark Yu, who was subbed on, he comes in, he scores, right? He scores a 2-2 against Antwerp. Very one great youngster, you know. Once again, as early when he scored early in the season, our youngsters are trying their best, you know, and it's really good to see that. That's the only positive from that. But then shortly after that, just like a minute or two after, we concede again and we lose 3-2. Like, where is the mentality? Where? How do you go on and do something like that? The players have lost their mentality entirely. And I see people blaming Xavi for this also and like saying Xavi out. That is stupid. There'll be no use in us sacking Xavi now. That will not do anything. It will only leave us like that would be it will be as dumb as Chelsea were when they sacked Tuchel or something, or like when they or any other moment like that when United in the past. We'll be ending up in their like in situations that they're in. Or like we were with Kikis at the end a few years ago when we sacked Valverde mid-season. You see how well that went? Yes, there was COVID stuff and all that, but still, you see how fucking crappy that went on to be. Kikis at the end didn't know at all what he was gonna do with the team. It just caused more trouble. That's what I'm saying. What the hell are we doing? Where is the problem here? Something needs to be done. And I'm so thankful that Vitor Roque is coming now by the end of the year now. And he's going to be playing for beginning in January. Hopefully he can help us out a little bit. We should not put pressure on him too much. But hopefully he can change things up a little bit at least. Get fire going and, set some fire up. Lewandowski's beyond pretty much. And get him going again. Motivate him to play better, motivate to focus more. And he and Roja himself also coming in and showing his talents that he's been doing at what his former club now. I don't remember the name exactly, but Pananense, or however you pronounce them. But hopefully he'll be a breath of fresh air, come in, help us out to do well. That's what we need. And hopefully we're also looking for another midfielder to bring in on loan because of Gavi's injury and other injuries happening here and there as well. We need somebody, and there's some names that have been put up: Lo Celso, Partey, Højlund, not Højlund, Højberg, and things like that. But we'll see where that goes and what we choose to do. But hopefully we can bring in somebody. Because I think it's definitely needed for the second half of the season. There's still time, but Xavi needs to figure something out before the end of January. Because this is not only him, this is the players as well. What is he supposed to do more? He's trying his best to put up the best lineup every time. And the players just don't have the mentality right now. You can maybe say that he has to motivate them, but what more can you do when, if it's game after game after game? It's understandable if it's just a couple of games here and there. If it's like one or two and then it goes back. But this has been a constant now for the last month and a half. Ever since like the end of October, beginning of November. It's like the middle of November, I guess, maybe. I don't know exactly when it was. Yeah, sometime mid-November to now. It's been just absolutely horrible. I don't understand it. How a club of Barcelona can do this. It's a wonder that we've made it through in the Champions League group, that we got to number one, and I'll get to that, and the draw, which team will face in round 16. I'll get to that in a minute. But if we wanted to compete for the Champions League, for the league, for everything, we have to step up now. But it's not looking too good. Like, we're 9 points right now behind Girona or something, right? 7 points behind Real Madrid. Only 1 point ahead of Atletico. Because they lost, thankfully, to Athletic Bilbao. Otherwise, we would have been behind them as well. So it's baffling. It really is baffling how things have changed from last season. Even the defense have been a bit struggled a bit, and some of the midfield like Oriol Romeo, just I don't know what's happened to him. At the beginning of the season, he was solid. Now he's making the most dumbest mistakes. It's just really it's unbelievable. And when we have injuries like this, like on Ter Stegen, he just had a surgery and he won't be back until like what can you say, like end of January, beginning of February maybe. The most, hopefully he'll be back by then. And then we have another few things. So it's weird. It really is weird. And then this latest game now versus Valencia. Valencia, a team that's been struggling so much. And we only get a draw. We go up 1-0 first this time, actually, right? And we're thinking, okay, this is gonna be our bounce back. We got a good goal. Joe Felix scores. But then it's like, oh, after that, we just drop off once again. We can make stupid mistakes, missing a lot of chances, clear chances. And of course, that's gonna come back and bite us in the ass in the end. Valencia scored a 1-1. And that's how the game ends. It's just, how? How do we drop points in these games where we should be getting the full 3 points, where we should be scoring goals? I'm not looking for a 5-0 in every game or anything, but at least a 2-0 or something like that, right? At least a little bit more of a confident performance. Right, at least a 2-0 result in most of these. At least score 2 goals. Heck, even if it is a 2-1 victory, I'll be fine with it. But at least we know that we did it. We went in, we scored it with most of the chances that we had, and we got the victory. And we can work out the details later. Talk about why we conceded and whatnot. But at least go in there and get it done. But they can't even do that. Every time we concede now, mostly, we know that the team is just gonna drop off. They're not gonna even barely do anything. We don't have that spirit in us anymore at the moment to fight back, to come back into the game. And I just don't understand it. It just really is frustrating. It really is frustrating and annoying. And I just hope that we can do something. Hope in January things can change, things can be better. Because if this keeps going, like, the season is not gonna look good for us. The season is definitely not gonna be looking good. Early next year we have the Spanish Super Cup. We have Copa del Rey beginning as well. And of course we have the Champions League round of 16. The league is starting to trap into the second half of the season, where 3 points is way more a must at that point. Dropping points during that time is very much a bad thing, even more so then, right, than now. So we need to do something quickly if we're gonna have a chance to even win anything, you know. I'm hoping for the champ that we can go far in the Champions League. I was maybe saying delusional to get him to think we can win that thing, but nothing is impossible if we just focus and do things right. You know it's not. You know, a few seasons back, nobody believed Chelsea would have won it. But hey, they changed something up during January, and then yeah, they went on. They won the competition. Nobody saw that coming. So who's to say we can't do that too? Get another great Champions League victory at Wembley, like we have 2 times before. It will be great. It will be a great thing if we can actually manage to do that. But I don't know. I don't know. I'll only be okay with losing out in the league if we win the Champions League, you know? Otherwise, I would see it as a failure of a season. But yeah, that's pretty much the status right now. But let's get into some of the other things. Before I get into the Champions League draw, there's some rumors now on on Thursday. There's gonna be a verdict now on the Super League. If that's gonna go through or not. If that goes through, you know, that some teams have set up to go against the UEFA in the Champions League, Barcelona and Real Madrid being the main two. teams to go into that. If that happens, we and Madrid too will be receiving 1 billion euros each, and that will clear our all our financial problems directly if that goes through. I don't know how this competition will be implemented and what that means for the future, and I'm not gonna talk about that now. That'll be for another video down the line. But whatever that happens or not, it can mean a lot. It can definitely mean a lot if that money comes in. It can mean a lot for the next 6 months as well, not just for January, but also for next summer, where it's been rumored that the club is planning to signing a big player, a big star player, and there's been rumors going around who that can be, mostly of one certain player, which I find a little bit of like excessive to think that he will think to even come to us, but who knows? You know what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Mbappe, and that would be something if we manage that. But I'm not gonna get ahead of myself and think anything about that right now. But we definitely do need to sign someone big in the summer, and also some other players too that will fit as well. There's some rumors about Kimmich coming in. Possibly he's willing to leave Germany. Um, and other people like that. Like there's been some rumors around different players that we could go for, but it's not all 100% sure. But that's just the situation with the transfer right now. We're also looking for a couple youngsters as well. One certain I don't remember his name, but one certain Argentinian youngster who's been really good over there. We're looking to try to sign him. Um, from a club. I don't remember which club that was, but he's very good. And I'm also looking to sign a young Swedish player. Uh, oh, lost on the name at the moment, but like he plays for you, Gordon. And he in the Swedish Allsvenskan, he's a very good talent. I see him when I play. I live in Sweden, of course, but he he's a good talent. He's a good player. And I found that very interesting when I saw that we're actually going for another Swedish player finally again. And I think he would be good for us, definitely, if we could manage to do that. They've had contacts. You Gordon's like president of like one of the representatives of of the club over there. He has confirmed that there has been contacts, but no like full official offer yet. So we'll see where that goes. But now on to the UCL round of 16 draw. Um, you can see the whole draw itself possible. I'll maybe leave it here, or you already seen. I'll leave a link down below, depending on how I do this. But uh, maybe I think I would just leave a link down below. I think maybe because I'll maybe make a separate video on it as well a little bit. I'll get a bit more deeper into it, so I think I'll do that rather than leave it here because this is gonna be too long. But I'm just gonna go very quickly. But we a little bit about ours, so I'll go more deep into other things in a separate video. We will be facing Napoli in the round of 16. We've been drawn against Napoli, which is gonna be a very interesting and a very good challenge for us, because Napoli themselves are also for league champions of the past season, just like we are, but they've also been struggling a bit them also this season with their form. So this is gonna be a test for them as well. So I think it's a little bit of even balance there. It's not a too tough of a team, but it's also not a super easy team. So it lays there somewhere in the middle, you know. So I think it will be a very interesting thing. Last time we faced them, it was in the Europa League. I think was that was that last year or 2 years or in 2021? I don't remember exactly when. I think it was last year. I don't know, but a season or two ago, and when we won last in the Europa League, and we beat them on aggregate 4-2. And we performed very well back then. Um, so yeah, I think it was last year, right? Yeah, it was the beginning of last year, right? Because the Aubameyang came then, and yeah, exactly. So last year we faced them there, and it was a great performance we had against them. Aubameyang scoring and others like that. We had a very good feeling over there. Things, of course, have changed since then, but I think we can have a good performance again if we just improve in January and also have that focus. As I've said earlier in this video, we need things need to change with the mentality and everything else. There's just this is gonna be a test for us. If we manage to get past Napoli, there is some hope that we can go at least somewhat far in this competition. Um, we don't know, of course, what lies ahead after that, who we're gonna be joining on next, but there is hope because there's this season is a little bit uncertain overall with everything. There's no like 100% certain favorite like that, because every team is under a small bit of a struggle. Yeah, of course, there's Real Madrid, who's most people thinking right now and looking the strongest, but you never know in the Champions League, you know. So I would love for us to go all the way for this one. This is gonna be the last iteration of this Champions League. This I said this right now. This format, because from starting next season, it'll be this whole different thing now with more teams added in and with the like a whole league table kind of thing going on instead. For 32 teams or something, and the best ones go through, and it's gonna be all weird. I hate that format so much. It's just nonsensical. Well, it's just I don't understand it at all. It's just worse for all the players as well. But anyway, we I would love for us to go on there and just win this right now and just do it. So we'll see what happens. But I think this will be a good test for us with against Napoli, and I hope we can do it right. I hope we can get this done and just go as far as possible. You know, further than Atletico Madrid, preferably, because that means we'll be slotted into the Club World Cup in 2025, which is also changing format. It's gonna be more like actual World Cups. So there's a lot of things like that. There's a lot laying on it, you know, for a lot of different reasons that we can go for in this competition. And if we're gonna do that, things need to turn around now. Before the end of January, things need to improve significantly. Right? It just has to have done that. But yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it. That's all I have to say right now. There's some other, I'll also said I will do a separate video for the rest of the matchups in the UCL. There's City versus I think it was Salzburg. I believe it was right. Not no. It's Real Madrid versus Salzburg. City is versus Copenhagen. Inter versus Atletico Madrid. Dortmund versus PSV. PSG versus what was that? No, Sociedad, right? And Bayern Munich got. Oh no, I'm just blanking now. I think it was Lazio, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Lazio. So, but I'll go more deep into, and maybe I'm missing one more game, but I'll go more deeper into it in another video. But yeah, I just wanted to go over everything that's been going on I'm sorry I've been off for a while, but as I said, I'm trying to change things up now, and things are gonna be looking a little bit different starting beginning of next year. Different name for these videos as well. But you'll see when it gets more closer to it. I'll explain more then. But yeah, but that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're not done already, and ring the notification bell to get notified next time videos get uploaded. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this, possibly for this year as well. I don't know. I may post one more video before the end of the year, but yeah, as I said, there will be the UCL one and maybe one after that. But I will still say now, happy holidays, everyone. Hope you guys enjoy your holidays, and hopefully 2024 will be better for us all, for the Barca fans, in one way or another. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. It's Barca.